Good morning. I'm back again with the Light Seers Tarot by Chris-Anne, and this one is for Thursday, January 11th, 2024. So what is it that we need to know for healing our souls? Okay, we have the Eight of Cups reversed. So that's my card for the need to take self-responsibility for everything that we're creating, and not to ever judge ourselves, beat ourselves up, or put ourselves down in any way at all whatsoever. It's always just about coming back home to yourself in understanding how much power you truly have. Okay, there's a clear message coming through here today. So just to dive in a little deeper on the Eight of Cups reversed, when you've done all you can, when it's upright, you've done all you can, you've worked it and worked it and worked it, and now you're free of something because you've taken self-responsibility for either the crappy relationship you were in, or the crappy job, or the or just any aspect of life that doesn't meet your happiness, your real need for happiness, at least 50% of the time. So part of the issue is that on Earth, here we are in Earth School, and if we're doing pretty good, life will mirror back to us more than 50% of the time what's really going on within us, and we'll be in enough pleasure and out of enough pain. But if we don't mind accepting the pain, that's knowing that it's just part of life, we will be out of that dualistic, conundrum that we're always, fighting, battling against. So bottom line, first thing is to accept that we live on a dualistic planet, and our spirits are not dualistic at all. So it can be painful and it can be challenging to live here. But we tend to hook up with people and jobs and experiences in life that mirror us in the pain of our unmet real needs. So in childhood, we have to connect with our parents. We have to stay connected with them as best we can because they are our survival. They're the only way we're going to survive is to have a caretaker. So, and if you're not mirrored back in your love, because our real needs are love and safety and comfort and connection, and then of course to be seen and heard and understood, which is what the Six of Wands is all about. But when we don't have those real needs met, we're thrown back on ourselves. And this is especially this real need to be seen and heard and understood here. But we're thrown back on ourselves, and when we don't have it, and then as we grow, we learn to morph into whatever we think we need to be, and we really needed to be this something else when we were little, otherwise we wouldn't survive. So these are survival fears deep down inside. They are places where we get hooked in our soul substance, and we literally morph our life force into a different pattern, and we kind of like tweak it or cross wire it, or however you want to describe that. I could draw it much easier than I can say it, but bottom line is our life force that would be like this straight column of light from within that goes up and connects down to the earth, right? And it contains all the spiritual laws. It teaches us about what life is really about, which is why in this deck, I love this card, the artwork. She has him laughing because he knows the truth. And it doesn't come from any religious program or book or dogma or anything like that. It comes from deep within. So, hold on one second. When we're wounded in a way that our parents don't meet our real needs, we are thrown back inside back onto ourselves, and we're trying to make it work, because if we don't make it work, there's a part of us that knows deep down inside that we're not going to survive. So as little ones, you might have grown up to take care of or thought that you had to, if you took care of your parents, one of your parents or your caretaker, maybe if you helped take care of them, that they might take care of you. And none of this is conscious, though. This is all unconscious. It's just, we're talking basic instinctual survival needs. Or maybe you only got attention or connection with your parent if you stayed small and you hid and stayed very quiet and just stayed out of the way. Don't see me, that kind of thing. Because every time they saw you, you got in trouble. And for things you didn't even do, right? Scapegoated, black sheep of the family, whatever. Or let's say you only got attention, connection, approval if you were kind of confrontational. Maybe your parents just wanted somebody to connect with, and they grew up in a home where it was okay to fight and argue, but there was always somebody in your face. Like maybe you grew up with 10 kids or 5 kids, or maybe you had lots of siblings and they all fought, and maybe there wasn't much of a parent around, and what happened was that the kids kind of raised each other. So you would grow up and you would connect with relationships where people were always fighting and there was a lot of conflict and challenges. So, but that's not peaceful, and it's not really loving. It's just it's a constant battle. It's back in that dualistic space where you're either right or you're wrong. Either you're good or you're bad. Either you're winning or losing. That's the main thing, right? There's no such thing as happiness. Forget that. You don't get that, right? Forget it. So you give up. And then as adults, if we don't process this through, it turns into a vicious circle of addictions. We have to create a substitute need for the real need. And now the other cool thing is, as adults, as long as we know that the real needs are, that's pretty much all you have to do, because you'll figure out how to meet them yourself. But if you find yourself stuck in an addiction of some type, like an addiction can be the need to be right, the need to have the last word, the need to win. Don't dare play a game and you be the loser, like that kind of thing, right? And then if you look around at your relationships and you find that they're all combative and competitive and contradictory, and somebody's always whatever. I'm not going to even say it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So to break the vicious circle, all we have to do is get in touch with the real pain. And of course, understand what those real needs are. And as we are getting in touch with the real pain, then what happens is we go through periods of depression. We really have to expect depression in our healing process, because that is just the way it is. So when the Eight of Cups comes through reversed, I have to question, is there some avoidance going on? Is there some fear of loss? Is definitely stagnant feelings going on here, stagnant emotional reactions. And the emotional reactions are always going to be aggression or passive aggression, still a form of aggression, or submission or withdrawal. I just won't even feel those feelings. I'll submit to everyone else's needs, and then that way I get my needs met, because maybe they'll take care of me, or maybe, but it usually doesn't work out that way, and then things fall apart, and that's part of our healing process, right? So, but if there's a fear of change, if there's a fear of moving on, or maybe it's not safe to move on yet, because, survival first, right? Like if you're in an abusive relationship, you got to plan your way out of there, especially if you have kids and you want to get everybody out safely. You have to plan that. You have to have a support system set up somewhere far away where they can't be, where they can't have access to you, and you have to be with people that you trust, and Thank goodness in every state, I think, just about every state, there are systems set up for that. And also, group therapy and even group process where you can work things through. Yeah. So anyway, emotional abuse, physical abuse, all of those, any type of an abuse is a relationship that you have to get out of eventually. But when we do have the Eight of Cups reversed, we're not there yet. For some reason, we're not there yet. And here's another interesting little tidbit, fact of life, is that if we are working through an addiction of any type, it usually takes 9 or 10 tries before we're, 9 to 11 tries, they say, before we can completely free ourselves. So expect to relapse and then pull yourself out of it. It's challenging. It goes with that hole. It's called The Hole in My Sidewalk by Portia Nelson. If you want to Google that, it's 5 short chapters. This video is getting too long to read it out to you, but I have in the past before. But anyway, you can just Google it. The Hole in My Sidewalk by Portia Nelson. And you can, print that out and stick it on the fridge because it's so helpful. And it's all about taking self-responsibility. So with the hierophant, we're there because we've already worked through the healthy mom and dad, and now we're ready to mix with society because it came through upright. It did not come through reversed. If it came through reversed, we'd have a whole different thing going on. This is just a temporary setback. Now, maybe everything I just talked about doesn't apply to you at all, and you're like, what the hell is this woman talking to? On the most simplest terms, the Eight of Cups can be avoidance. So maybe we wake up this morning and we're avoiding going to school and studying. Because this can be a card of learning. Maybe we're teachers and we're avoiding, we don't want to get in the classroom and do our thing. It can be something that simple. And it could be a day where we don't want to be seen and heard at all. We just want the day off, right? So hopefully it's something like that for you guys. But whatever it is, accept it and be with it and work it through. And just remember that you have the power within you. Our Hierophant card is the beautiful card for understanding that it's your belief system that creates your reality. It's most of all a card of belief, or whatever your belief system is, and that we do have traditions and we do have morals and all of that. But most of all, deep down inside of us, we don't need a book or anyone else telling us what's right. We know what's right because it's all about love and connection and helping others and loving each other, right? This card is ruled by Taurus, so it's very honoring of the body and honoring of self-preservation. So anyway, challenging the belief system I don't think is a major thing for today. I think it's to believe in yourself and trust your body, and then all of the other things will work out. Okay, that's all I have. Take good care. Bye.